Are we working? Looks like we're working. Well, this isn't sorbet net. I'm sorry. But I wanted to stream something. So I figured it's October, so I figured that's pretty good spooky ghost time. So I figured I would break out all my spooky ghosts, because I've got a bunch of them this week that came in because they were on like crazy sale. And I figured we could take a look at some of those, maybe build a couple up, see what we get. That might be kind of fun. Just to check out all the different spooky ghosts that are that I've sort of picked up indirectly here and there. Thought it might be kind of fun. So, some of these I've probably shown off on the channel before, but we're gonna just kind of look at them all again. You know, all the spooky ghosts. Thought it might be pretty fun. Yeah. Little low on energies, which is why I'm not playing today. I'm sorry. I know last week I was sick with COVID. Well, pseudo COVID from the injection, and then this week I actually went out and played a game in person yesterday with another people out in the world. I haven't done that in like 6 months at least. And it was a blast. I had a great time. I played Battletech, took all my big Battletech terrain, took all my dudes. Not all my dudes, took some of my dudes. I just had a fucking wonderful time playing Battletech. I actually played for like 4 hours or something, which is a really long time for me. But man, even today, I'm still drained. Yay for mental health. But one of the things that happens to me a lot is I get like a bunch of like skin pain when I'm like kind of drained like that. And things like blankets and stuff help a lot. Just like the stimulation of the blanket helps a lot with the skin pain. So I'm wrapped up like a ghost. I'm not like ooh, spooky ghosts. No, it's my fucking skin hurts. Yeah, just always a weird thing. It's like if you you're driving your car and your gas is getting really low and it like pings at you and it's like bing 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 bing. You really gotta fill up your gas tank. That's what the skin pain is sort of like. So we're gonna take it easy today. We're gonna relax and fill our gas tank up a little bit. Just look at some toys and talk about maybe how we're gonna paint them and what they're gonna do, and get a little bit of hype for some ghosty boys. Get a little bit of hype. So let's get looking at some ghosty boys. All right. First off, what do I got? I got Age of Sigmar Soul Tempest of Souls. That's it. I got this guy right here. This is one of the starter sets from the last edition of Age of Sigmar, from the second edition. I know, maybe from the first edition. No, it's from the second edition. Because they're in edition 3 now. Yeah, so this is one of those starter sets. It's not like the super massive one. It's like the one that's like a step down from that. So inside, there's a bunch of ghosty boys and a bunch of big paladin boys. Man, she is not a happy looking lady. Jesus, look at that. But it's pretty sweet. So, let's check out what we got. So I grabbed this a long time ago, because it was on like crazy sale on Amazon, and I wanted some ghosts right? I was kind of on like a ghost kick, which I'm getting back on again now. But I kind of wanted some ghosts, and this thing was on like ludicrous sale on Amazon. So I picked this up. Well, let's see. You can see how everybody's on like colored plastic, which is a little strange, right? Like they don't, but everything is also push fit. So there's some of the paladins. You know, the Stormcast Eternals. Really cool thing about this one is they get a big like crossbow thing, which is pretty cool. And I know a lot of people say these models are like super chunky, but I think they're pretty rad. I actually like a lot of the Stormcast models. I just like to paint them like kind of dark and spooky, and I think they're really neat. Alright, so you get all those, and then we start to get some ghosts. Now these guys, these are chain rasps. So these are just like generic line infantry kind of ghosts. You can see they're done in this kind of like weird turquoise, like spooky turquoise. And they're like just generic kind of infantry. And then you also get this bro. Now these are all unique sculpts to this sprue, right? You can get these models in other places, but all these ones are unique sculpts to this sprue. So you have a bunch of guys with big glaives, which I think are called glaive wraith stalkers, and then you have like these guys that have like horse heads. They're really fucking cool. I really like the horse head guys. See, and they've got like spears and stuff. They're really neat. Right, and then you've got all these guys. These big like scythes and stuff. And then last but not least, there's the like leader guy who has like his own gallows just hanging off his back there. It's pretty cool. So that's pretty cool. So essentially you get 2.5 sprues of Ghosty Boys. Oh wow, there's a nice roller in here. Didn't know that. So essentially you get 2.5 sprues of Ghosty Boys. And then in this box, you would also get like a game mat, some next step stuff, the Tempest of Souls book, and the like assembly guide. So all the like kind of book stuff. But we're looking at Ghosty Boys today. And besides, I've actually shown this off on the channel before. I just wanted to refresh kind of my own memory of what kind of Ghosty Boys I had, you know. So we got some glaive wraith guys. We got a unit of chain rasps, and we've got a floating executioner guy. All right, so we got those. And we looked at. We'll look at these two. Just because it's all ghosty. It's all ghosty all the time today. We've looked at these on the channel recently. But we'll take another look at them. So these are last chance to buy from Warhammer Underworlds. And this is one of the first sets, or one of the first options. The camera's in a weird spot today. There we go. This is one of the first like teams from like original Underworlds, and it's a whole team of ghosts. So you end up getting like 8 ghosts in this, including like a big lady who's like shooting out like swirly thorns. You get a guy who's carrying his own head. You get a guy with a candle and like a dude who has like a wrapping around his face. You get a bunch of cool stuff. So these are pretty cool. I picked them up just because they're unique, flavorful characters, not because I want to play Underworlds, but because they're fun characters. And so you get a bunch of different ideas, and kind of, you know, that's kind of cool. You know, you can add them like to pretty much any unit, and you'll have a bunch of like really characterful kind of people, which is pretty neat. So we've seen them before. Now let's look at the stuff we haven't seen. Ooh. Because this stuff just got here this week. So, first off, yesterday while I was at the game store, I always like to pick up something. And they had Spooky Boatman. Ooh. All Rock the Drowner. So he's like a big boatman with like a ghost beard. And like he's like attached to this like half a ship. And then he has all these ghosts like coming up out of the ground and giving him gold coins. So it's really weird design, but it's super cool. You can see the ghosts there. They kind of look like a wave, but like they're depositing gold coins, which is kind of weird. So yeah, so it's got kind of like a ferryman kind of vibe, I guess. Maybe they're paying their toll to go to, I don't know, Deadland or something. But he's pretty cool, and he's actually like built into the ship, right? Like it kind of looks like he's just like riding on part of it, but he's actually like built into it, which is pretty neat. So check out his sprue. So he comes on a big like dreadnought base. It's pretty cool, right? One of these big boys. So he's gonna be a pretty big guy. And then we got this here. Hello. So we have like sides of the boat, and then we've got a bunch of ribs, right? And the boat's filled with these like, skeletons. And then there's this big paddle thing, and it's got all these like roses like wrapping down around it. It's pretty sweet. So it'll be a lot of fun to paint. And then he comes with like a scenic base so that he can connect into it to make him a little more stable. Because his main connection into it is going to be the guys giving him coins. So these like water ghosts people, they're going to be like his main connection into it. But yeah, there's the big like centerpiece of the boat. So he actually attaches here at the top of this like spine thing, but you can see it's like chained into the boat and like anchored into like the mast in a couple of places. So it's pretty cool shit. Bunch of neat little filigree up there. So yeah, should be pretty rad. I'm pretty excited for this boat guy. But I picked him up from my local store yesterday while I was playing, just because I wanted to pick something up from the store, and I don't know, spooky boat ghost seemed appropriate for October. Well, I try to have a little bit of spook, you know. Try to have a spoopy time. But yeah, he looks like he goes together pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy. The only thing that like might be a problem with him is you might not want to attach him until you're content with painting him. But I think I'll probably build the whole thing and just paint it at once. I don't think it'll be that bad. Because he has a little bit of detail up in him, but not like a ton. So, but yeah, that's Spooky Boatman. He's pretty rad. I like Spooky Boatman a lot. And he's got a ghost beard, which is cool as shit. It's cool as shit. 10 out of 10 for ghost beard. Now I have something I shouldn't have bought, but I did because it was on sale, and because I'm bad at this. I'm bad at saving money apparently. But This is the box that originally got me interested in ghosts. And Amazon's big Prime preview day thing, it was on sale for $40 off its original price. So I decided to pick one up. This is the Arena of Shades. It has big titty goth girlfriends, and it has ghosts. Now, I don't really care about the big titty goth girlfriends, but when this was on sale, the ghosts were still like, if I was to buy them all separate in this box, they were still like 10% off, and the big titty goth girlfriends were all free. So I was like, that's still a better deal than if I was to buy all these separate. So I decided to pick it up. And yeah, it's a pretty boss box that we'll go through. So you get a really nice big variety of ghosts in this, which is something I really like. So we're gonna get these guys here. Zoom back in now. We're not looking in the box lid. So we're gonna get these guys here, and they all have like great swords, right? They're all these like big, like, I was gonna say halberdiers, but that's wrong. But they all have like these big like claymores, like Zweihander greatsword things, which is pretty cool. So it's like a whole unit of like greatsword ghosts. So they're pretty rad. So you get a unit of these greatsword ghosts. There's not really a ton of like independent details to call out here, like, because a lot of it is just like swooping cloth. But a lot of the greatswords have different designs, and all the ghosts have like different body designs, which is really neat. It's just hard to see right now. You're also going to get probably the biggest star of this box. This being here makes this hard to see. Let me put that down there, maybe. Nice. All right. You're going to get the biggest star of this box. So this, I believe he's called a Scriptor Mortis. And he essentially has a giant book. And then his body is like, which is right here, is like built into this candelabra. And like built into this like floating lectern thing. And he's like kind of leaning over it with like a lantern so he can see it. So you can see the lantern here with like the smoke billowing out. And then there's his big book. Yeah, and he's got a quill where he's like writing names down. He's like, you go in the bad book, you know? So that's really cool. This guy's like the super big star of the show. He's a little bit more of like a body horror ghost, which is why I really liked him, versus just like spooky floating rags, you know, because he's kind of like zombie-y, but also like ethereal, but he's also like built into the lectern and stuff. So I was a big fan of that. So we got him, and then we got. Is there more of these? I think so, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Alright. And then we have what I believe are called Myrmidon Banshees. And they're like ladies in shawls. They all have fancy bases. But they're like ladies in shawls with like little fancy stabby daggers. So like, see, she's got like a fancy stabby dagger. This one's got a fancy stabby dagger. But they're all like kind of dressed up looking ladies. They're pretty cool. I'm not like amazingly sold on them. They are doing this like swoopy thing where they're like all like woo, all like flying around and stuff, which is kind of cool. So they'll be neat. You'll get to see a better picture of them when we look at the instructions. They're kind of hard to see in pieces. Also, we get this kit. So this kit can be a couple different things, I think. I think it can be all like 3 guys or 2 guys and like a character, I think. But don't quote me on that. There are a bunch of different heads in here, which is really neat. But like this one's all about like keys and locks and like being imprisoned and like carrying weights and stuff. But like some of the heads are really wicked wild because they all have these like Man in the Iron Mask style masks to them. Stabby daggers, yeah, stabby daggers. But yeah, the masks are really cool. They're just kind of like featureless, like blank, right? This one's got a literal keyhole right where your mouth would be. So that's really freaking cool. But I think this makes 2 units and an elite. Or maybe it just makes 3 units. Maybe there's an option there. But I know it can make 2 units and like what I think is a character, I think. But yeah, they're really cool. They're like, I don't know, just spooky key ghosts. And then we have what would be the other fancy or new unit in this box, which are these like artillery guys. So these guys have like crossbows, and they have these like really neat helmets. Sorry, we're off camera. I apologize. Come on. Come on. Come on. Whatever it is, stop looking at it. Thank you. They've got these really cool helmets where they're like, I don't know, they have like these conical, like, they remind me of Lego, actually, helmets. So that's pretty cool. I really like those. And they have a little bit more gear and stuff, so they're like a little bit, I don't know, like they have like bits of chainmail and stuff mixed in. So they're a little bit more like guard kind of than ghosts. It's kind of cool. A little bit different, different look for some of the ghosts. But yeah, there's a big banner. So I think in total you get 5 guys on this. I guess you can have guys with hoods if you don't like the conical helmets. Yeah, shooty crossbows. When these came out, people called them the crossbows, which I thought was pretty cool. But like the banner's really neat, see? So we'll see what options we can do for those when we look at the magazine. But it looks like there's definitely options on the sprue. Like if you want the conical helmets or if you want the hoods. I think there's definitely options. Alright. And that's the end of the ghosts that you get. However, we're going to take a look at the Big Titty Goth Girlfriends too, just because I've never unboxed this, right? So we'll take a look at everything in this box, just because, so we do it. These are probably the coolest Big Titty Goth Girlfriend models. So these are the, like, this... That was something. I'll figure out what that was later. These are like the infantry for the Big Titty Goth Girlfriends. And they're pretty cool. They're all like jumping around and stuff. It's a neat banner. That one's got a cool ass whip. And all their asses are hanging out, which is pretty cool. I'm always for anyone's ass hanging out. So, but yeah, they're kind of like, you know, they're kind of skimpy. Their bellies are hanging out. Their asses are hanging out. They're like jumping around. They all got like whips, and there's some cool like, well, I guess that one's not a helmet. There are like cool helmets on here somewhere. I remember seeing them. Oh, they're there. Yeah, so they have these like kind of death mask kind of helmets, which are pretty cool. So they're definitely weird. I like those a lot. I'm not planning on building these. What my plan is for these, and for all the Big Titty Goth Girlfriend stuff in here, is actually to kit bash it with Drukari, because I think that would be pretty cool. So you get 2 sprues of that. I think you get 5 ladies on each sprue, or 5 ladies on each set of sprues. Big boob goth monster. Yeah, basically. That's what they are. Yeah. They don't have like massive boobs. But they have decent boobs. They're much more like about the ass. These are. But yeah, I think you get 5 on each one, so you get 2, so you get a unit of 10. So they're pretty cool. I do think you have some options in there, but we'll double check when we look at the instructions. Let's see. These are a weird one, right? So the big titty goth girlfriends are called the Daughters of Cain officially, and then these are guys. So I guess they're also the Daughters of Cain. So these are guys on horses. Hold on, wait, where's the other horse guy spurs? There. These are like guys on horses, which is really weird. So you're going to get 5 guys on horses, and I think they can have swords and shields, swords and crossbows, or swords or shields and like pikes, right? Because there's like some pikes there. The horses are nicely sculpted, though. They're pretty cool. That one's got a cutie mark for some reason. Yeah, they are kind of like jockeys. But they're like... Wait, that's the other ones. Yeah, they're very, very strange. So I think they can have like these big shawls. Right there, you can see them, big shawls. And like helmets and stuff, and look like they should be in Lord of the Rings. Or I think they can be shirtless, because I think these are shirtless torsos, and they can have like flowing hair like the ladies do. But yeah, just kind of weird, to be honest, that there's like, because as far as I know, in the Daughters of Cain, there's no other male units. It's just this horse unit. This is the only one. So it's just very strange. But the horses look nice. This sprue was actually a lot newer than I thought it was. This was only from 2012. When I saw pictures of this originally, I was like, man, that sprue looks fucking old. No, it's only 10 years old. I was expecting it to be like, I don't know, like 3rd edition Warhammer Fantasy Battles old, you know? And then for the ladies, this is their last like actual unit. These are actually really cool. They're like demon harpy ladies. So you can see like this one's got like a big like monster tail. And then they all have these like harpy wings. So yeah, a lot of them are like flying up and they're by their tails and stuff. So they're actually really cool. I wish they had like cool monster feet, but they all just have these like, I don't know, metal goth boots. But I think there's a bunch of options on the sprue too. I don't know a lot about it to say yet, because I haven't even looked in the instructions yet. But yeah. So I think they also do have the masks like the other ones, but we'll see in a minute. Alright, last but not least, probably my least favorite model in this whole box, which is the Gladiatrix, which is a cool idea. This is the... Hold on. Arena of Shades. I got it on Amazon for like $40 off. It's a pretty old like box now comparatively. I really wanted the ghosts. With the sale I got on Amazon, it was still like 10% off. Just the ghosts, and then all the big titty goth girlfriends are basically free. So couldn't complain with that. But yeah, this is the Gladiatrix. I fucking hate this model. And you'll see why when you see her put together in the instructions. Just the pose is so... It's so dumb. I can't, man. Alright. So, that's our packet. There are some like decals in here. I guess these are for the ladies. Yeah, because there's the hand grabbing the like bleeding heart. They're pretty neat. I guess they could go with like the shields or something. They're pretty cool. And then you do get one of these really nice core rule books in here. These things are the boss. They're so good. Alright. Let's see what we get in this box. Alright, so we get unit cards. So you can see how wrong I screwed the names up. So those are Doomfire Warlocks. That's the dudes on horses. Kinnarai Heartrenders are the ladies with the bat wings and the tails. Sorry. Kinnarai Heartrenders. Sisters of Slaughter. They're the big titty, ass out, jumpy ladies. I guess they're just the ones with the masks. You can also build them with heads, but I guess I don't get a card for that. The High Gladiatrix. Look at that fucking pose. It's so fucking dumb. I fucking hate that model. Yeah, the Mirmoran Banshees. I was close with the name for the stabby, floaty ghost ladies. But they're pretty cool, right? They've got like shawls. Pretty neat. The Craven Throne Guard. That's the guys with the crossbows. That's what they're called. Blade Ghast Revenants are the guys with the big claymores. That's what they're called. Chain Ghasts. They're the guys on the sprue with the guy with all the keys. And the guy with all the keys is the Spirit Torment. Which is really cool. And the Scriptor Mortis is the guy built into the thingy. So, pretty cool. Unit cards are nice. I haven't played AOS in a really long time. Alright. Now we're going to get I'm getting an Arena of Shades book, which is basically just going to give us some story and scenarios to play with what's in the box. So it just gives you some scenarios for that. There's a lady kicking a monster. That's pretty cool. It's a cool piece of art. She's like stabbing one crocodile and then like, I don't know, kicking some kind of kitty cat. And we get a map to let us know where we are. And just a bunch of background. There's a nice big art print. And then some background. There's our bro right there. Really cool, dude. Fuck, that model's cool. Then we get some background on what each one of the guys are. Some background on what each one of they are. There's a nice big picture of the Spirit Torment. No, of the... I literally just looked at the Scriptor Mortis. Nice big picture of him. You can see how he's built into the lectern. That's what I really liked. You know, he wasn't just like a floaty ghost. He was like built into shit. It's really cool. And then we got some photos of the Craven Throne Guard. It's a lot of web blending. Yeah, I think I have some ideas for how I'm going to paint them. So I think I'm going to paint them up like they're made out of blood. So there's the Spirit Torments. There's some Blade Ghast Revenants and the Mirmoran Banshees. And then the High Gladiatrix. Fuck, I hate that model. It's just such a dumb pose. She's like, look at me do a little whip trick. Woo! It's just so, ugh. And there's the ladies with the tails. They're really cool. Yeah, they're actually really cool. And the big titty goth girlfriends, also very cool. Yeah, that's literally what she's doing. It's like she's like doing rope tricks at the rodeo. And I just fucking hate it. And then there's the dudes on the horses. Also not a fan of those. But they were free, so who cares? You got what looks like a big spread battle. And then rules for playing with what's in the box, and then rules for playing with these guys. Alright. And then we got one of these, which is like a token sheet and roller sheet. So this is for objective markers, command points, a bunch of stuff like that. And then we have our instructions. And the real question is, I wonder if it'll show us having options in here. That's a lot of sprues, man. You gotta admit that's a lot of sprues in this fucking box. Alright. There's our buddy, the Scriptor Mortis. Blade Gas Revenants. I don't think they have any options. Wow, you get a lot of those, though. You actually get 10 of them on that sprue. Wow, I thought you only got 5. That's cool. And then, yeah, there you can see there's all the different heads for the key guy. For the Spirit Torment. He has a bunch of different heads. And the other guys have different heads, too. And then I guess a lot of that other stuff is just, like, for their bases. Lots of little bits and bobs to put on their bases if you wanted. There's the Mirrormorn Banshees. They don't have any options. And then the Craven Throne Guard. They have a lot of options, which is pretty cool. So they all have different heads. And then it looks like you can choose to make... You can choose to make a guy with a banner or a guy not with a banner. And it looks like your boss has 2 different poses in there. Yeah, so it looks like the options are guy with banner, guy without banner. Cool. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Have a good one. Looks like you can have guy with banner, guy without banner. And then there's 2 different poses for your boss. And then everybody has different heads. So if you like the conical helmets, or if you want them to have, you know, not conical helmets, they can do that. And then the big titty goth girlfriends can have whips, or they can have daggers and swords. Okay. The high gladiatrix can have a long blade or a little dagger, and she gets different heads. And you can have a banner for the high titty goth girlfriends, or the big titty goth girlfriends. And then, yeah, it's not showing you a ton of options for the other ones. Nice, but yeah, that's everything in the box. So pretty cool box. Even if the big star here for me is the Ghost Boys. You know, I'm about the Ghost Boys. So yeah. So pretty cool box. Ugh. I think we're gonna build the little team. I think is what we're gonna build. The Underworlds team. So I wanna build something. So I think we'll build the Underworlds team once I can figure out how to get all this stuff back in here. Because if I'm going to build the Underworld's team, it should give me a nice like starting palette to try a bunch of different like color scheme ideas out. We can talk about that a little bit when we get there. So I have a couple ghosts already, and I painted them up to go with my I just knocked everything over. So I have a couple ghosts already. They are painted up to go with my Ossiarch Bone Reapers. No, the Bone Reapers, I did those as a stream event. So I painted them. I built and painted an entire Ossiarch Bone Reaper army in a weekend. Like, in excitement for the new Guild Wars 2 expansion coming out. So they are an entire... Oh, that shouldn't go like that. They are an entire army themed, like the Awakened from Guild Wars 2. No, they're a faction of like zombies essentially, and they all work for this guy called Palo Joko. So my whole army of Ossiarch Bone Reapers is Palo Joko themed essentially. So they all kind of like ooze oil, and like they're kind of like weird zombie monsters. So the ghosts that I painted up for that like big stream thing, they're all made out of oil, right? I like this idea of like there'd be like these creeping kind of manifestations of the oil that's in all the zombies, you know, and they'd be like ghosts. I liked that idea a lot. So they all look like they're made out of oil. These guys, though, I think I want to do them like they're made out of blood. Been painting a lot of vampires lately. I have a whole vampire army. I kind of like the idea of having, because these guys are very blue, right? My zombies are very blue. The bases are going to be very blue. And I really like the idea of having some, like, really bright, like, vibrant reds to go with it. I think it'll look really neat. And I think for games like Silver Bayonet and stuff, being able to, like, plop down zombies that match would be really cool. So, alright, so let's build some of these zombos. Ghosty bros. And, yeah. As you can see, I still have Silver Bayonet stuff here on my desk. I have not finished it yet. Like our buddy Glorio, he's still not 100%. You know, I gotta finish painting his base and stuff, and then he can get top coats. Which is again one of the reasons I'm not playing today. One of many. Yeah. I'll be super honest. Last week I got distracted. I got distracted with Tyranid kit bashes. I was so happy that I got some of my Tyranids finally painted that I was like, man, it's Tyranid time. So I whipped this lady up. This is a harpy. That I've customized the living hell out of. So she has a giant belly gun, all kinds of extra spikes, a second set of wings, extra armor. Her little bombs are flying off her wings. See, they're like shooting off as she's like jumping out of the water, right? 'Cause space is going to be all water, like all my other Tyranids. And she has a whole bunch of extra legs now. Like, yeah, she's she took up like an entire evening, I'm not gonna lie. I started working on another one of the like hive tyrants. So like I reposed his whip, I modified his feet. So he's up like bouncing off his tail. He has a custom gun. He's got little extra bits of armor. I'm not done with him yet, but he's getting there. But he's pretty rad. I like him a lot. So I want to do something else to the sword arm. Like maybe a big piece of armor or something on it. Would be kind of cool. Like a big shield or something. But yeah, I got distracted doing Tyranids a couple of nights. So my Silver Bayonet stuff lapsed because of that. Because there was Tyranids! Tyranid invasion. Alright. So let's see what we got. Let's see, we need number 22. Then we need 20, 19, and 21. So this one is the hand. And one of my Tyranids just eats the desk. But yeah, man, it was really fun to go out and play yesterday. But it was also really tiring. I had a really good time. Went out to go play with my friend Kyle. And we had another friend show up who is just visiting Long Island. It's really nice. So we were playing at the Armchair Adventurer. Having a really good time. I was trying to remember how to play, and Kyle was learning how to play Battletech Alpha Strike. And it was a really good time. It was a lot of fun. Ended up playing for like 4 hours. Not what we basically got like 3 games in. So one game like extended over. It was really cool. But we got a couple games in. And I grabbed myself a piece of pizza and headed home. And then took a nap because man, it fucking took the energy right out of me. Not because like anybody that we were playing with was like high maintenance or hard to deal with or anything like that, but oof, just being out and like in society and like being social and stuff, man, it wrecked me. It was really good though, right? Like, I'm not going to build that tolerance back up unless I start doing it again, right? Like, you can't hide forever and just hope that something changes, right? Like, that's, when you do that, nothing will change. You know, you gotta take efforts and steps and stuff, and sometimes it's gonna kick your ass, right? Like, you know, like I'm pretty fucking beat today. I was really beat yesterday when I got home. You know, and like this event has dominated majority of my weekend, right? And that's fine, right? Because you gotta. I'm never gonna get to a point where I could like go and play a tournament again. Not that I really like competitive games, but I'm never gonna get to a point where I could do that if I wanted, if I don't start, you know, trying again, right? Like, you gotta get out there. You gotta do it. Because, like, you know, you're not going to get to a point where you can if you don't. It sounds really crappy, but, like, you know, I know I have to push myself with that, right? My default will happily just hide at home. Um, and I will be completely happy and content to do that. And it's not a bad thing, but it's not like I want to go out and do stuff and play games and be in the shops. And, I want to do that stuff. And I know that if I don't start putting effort into be more okay with doing that stuff, I never will be. So, that's what yesterday was about, even though it took it out of me today. Wow, she's really cool. Alright, let me put her on her base and then you can see her. Definitely took it out of me today, but that's okay. That's okay. I ain't got nothing else planned, Yeah, man, she's fucking awesome. Shooting out like a bunch of roses from her armpit. It's actually from under her cloak, but that's really fucking cool. Yeah, that's cool as hell. 10 out of 10, man. That's a fucking awesome model. Alright, now let's see. We need 13, 14, 15, 16 for the next guy. But yeah, so just trying to get back into it, It's weird. You kind of have to start over, Which is definitely strange and a little frustrating, but it is what it is, Thanks to Discord and stuff, I've kept contact with some people, so that's good. That makes it a little easier, People that I used to play with before all the COVID nonsense. Because I had almost a year out here before all the COVID nonsense. So I know a couple people, and that definitely makes it easier. But man, I clipped the wrong thing out. Yes, unless this guy has 3 arms, and I don't think he does. Oh, that's just a tied up sword. Okay, it's not an actual like stabby sword. Okay. It's not in his hand. I was like, I don't think this guy has 3 arms. But no, he doesn't. Okay, cool. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta, It's also important to know your limits, right? You don't wanna always super push yourself, right? I've been doing that too much recently, running a little bit too much on E. From the COVID shot, and then from going out for the first time in 6 months, back to back. So next weekend's just gonna be a me weekend, It's gonna a little bit of let's do there. Gonna have just a little bit of chill at home. I have to gotta drop my husband off at the airport, but that's about it. So besides that, I'm just gonna chill at home and paint models. I don't know, watch spooky movies or something, right? Trying to get in that Halloween feeling. Last year I managed to go back and see my parents for Halloween. But this year this just wasn't in the cards. The trip was too shortly planned, and I don't have anyone to watch my little buddy, my doggo, this year. So it just wasn't in the cards this year. So I'll be hanging out here on island by myself. Ooh, I have keys and a candle. Ooh. I do like the kind of the spoops of these ghosts. They're pretty rad. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this guy's got a lot of fucking parts. But yeah, I'll be spooking myself out during the Halloweens. It's gonna just be me here. My husband's got work, so I'll just be here watching horror movies by myself like a dummy. 1, 2, 3. Oh, these are different models. Shit. Okay. Okay, so you're 5, 6, 7, so that's you. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3 is a different model. Okay. Did not realize. But caught it in time. Alright. But yeah, I'll be, yeah, there's a bunch of body horror movies I want to watch for Halloween. My husband's not really into those, so but I love monsters and zombies and weird tentacle creatures and all that kind of stuff. So I've been watching a bunch of those, probably by myself. Everyone was recommending some anime called Chainsaw Man, so I was debating starting that. It's a dude who literally becomes a living chainsaw, which I think sounds kind of cool. I've also been just eating through Junji Ito mangas. I think I've literally read 4 or 5 of them this year already. So yeah. So I think I might actually be out of those that I have not read. I will say though that if you're looking for one of those, Ramina is very good. It is about a Squid Games. Oh yes, God. Yes, I know I need to watch Squid Game. I know it was a cultural zeitgeist thing and I just totally missed it. Maybe I'll try to figure that one out. I should also watch Sweet Home is what I should do. Because I loved that manga. That was really good. Yeah, I really liked the Sweet Home manga. So I should watch that show. I will try to watch Squid Game while Brian is away. looks like being hung. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's like being hung by a thing that's not there anymore, but he's still like reaching out in his ghosty woos, you know. I don't know why I always make that's like in my brain. That's the noise ghosts just make all the time. It'd be really funny if these guys, instead of making that, they made those noises like those that like weird laughing, like those chattering Halloween decorations. You know, the ones you hang in trees and they go like bounce around. It'd be really funny if these guys made that noise instead. You know, not like a silly noise, just like an absurd one. You know? There's a boss in World of Warcraft who's like a skeleton man in this graveyard, and he shouts, "No rest for the angry dead," but like the voice actor's kind of silly, right? So like, I don't know. It'd be funny if the ghosts had like kind of silly voices, you know? You know, like they're actually these like horrific like death monsters, and they're literally like woo, you know? That would be kind of awesome. Alright, this guy's got like a chain around his neck. A chain around his neck, he's holding his own head. And he's still gonna fucking stab a bitch with his sword. But yeah, I'll try to watch Squid Game. I have to figure out which TV show it's on. Alright, let's see. I'm missing a couple still. Alright. Wow, this one dude's just literally like one piece. Two of these are literally just like one piece. Okay, sure. Alright, so then you get, what, number 12? One is 12. One is 10, so it's 10, 8, 9. So yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of good spooky things on to watch. I don't watch a lot of TV, like, normally. Like, if it's not something me and my husband are going to, like, put on and watch together, I don't watch TV. Generally, because I'd rather be doing something else with my time. And I can't focus on TV and focus on, like, painting or playing video games at the same time. My brain just doesn't do that. I feel like I'm not giving either of them like enough time or enough focus, so I don't like to like do that, you know? Like, I'm playing a video game, I want to play a video game that engrosses me enough that I don't have to watch TV with it. Or if I'm watching a TV show, I want to watch a TV show that engrosses me enough that I don't have to do other stuff with it. I think if me and my husband could afford a house with a like a living room, I think it might be a situation where like he would put on TV and I would sit down there and like paint with him while TV's on. I know that makes us sound like a fucking super old couple, but I mean, I don't know. We're not like going out clubbing kind of people, you know? We're like stay home and play video games kind of people. Like that might be a thing that would happen, but we can't afford to out here in Hawaii to have a house that big yet. Maybe one day, but not today. But right now, I didn't shut that guy off. He's got some kind of weird metal ring thing around his head. I don't understand what that one is, but I mean, hey. Weird torture devices are weird torture devices, right? But yeah, right now it's just kind of, you know, we watch stuff when we watch stuff together. Otherwise, I don't really watch stuff. So this guy's like, he's really neat. He's like straight up just manifesting out of the ground. Like he's not an already existing ghost. He's like actually coming out of the ground. That's really cool. Yeah, that's super cool. All these sculpts are wonderful. Really just wonderful. They're gonna add a lot of nice flair. And they're gonna give me a really nice set of guys to like practice my color scheme on. So I'm going to try to do these guys in blood. So they look like they're made out of blood. So they're going to get done initially in a dark red, like the whole thing done in a dark red. And then they're going to get dry brushed white. The reason I'm going to do that is because I want to emphasize the fact that I'm then going to put contrast over them. So they're then going to get hit with a bunch of contrast reds. And then finally dry brushed red. Now there are some details that I'm going to pick out on them. Like the pieces of wood and the pieces of armor and the weapons and stuff like that. Those I'm going to pick out, but everything else I'm probably not going to. So like, I'm not going to like paint their skulls different, for example. I kind of want that all to be like ghosts, and then it's like, you know, ghosts that picked up a sword, right? So like the sword has you know, sword has like a bunch of rust and shit on it, right? Because it's like some sword from a dead battlefield, but it's not like, you know, it's not like a ghostly sword kind of thing. So that's something I want. So yeah, so like all the chains are gonna get painted and stuff like that. So they're gonna get painted like chains. But then the ghosts themselves, they're just gonna be like they're made out of lead. With that simple kind of color scheme I just talked about, a couple different colors, dry brushing, contrast, stuff like that. Alright, last but not least, we got this guy here who has an axe in one hand, and then he has part of a like I don't know, part of like a cross or something that he'd been staked to on the other arm, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, that is the Thorns of the Briar Queen, all built up. There are some really cool little models in here. She is amazing. She is probably the star right there. She's fantastic. I really like the guy without the head, where he's carrying his own head. I think that's really funny. And the dude with the candle's also really good. Yeah. So, some good shit. Some good shit. So I'll get those all primed up tonight, and then we can start working on them. We'll have some ghosts to go with all my zombies and vampires. But that is a weird little look at all the ghosty boys I have, and we built one set of them. And yeah, it should be good. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to call it there. We're going to get me some lunch. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry we were not playing again today. We will play guaranteed next Sunday. We will play. And I will make a goddamn super point of it to play next Sunday. But yeah, we're going to play next Sunday. It should be good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get some lunch now. Thank you guys for watching me play with my toys. They're really cool. The ghost models are fantastic. Really, really fun. And they're gonna make really cool bad guys for Silver Bayonet. Which is super fun. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna call it there. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, and keep on keeping on.